Hello world. Early on in my channel, I attempted to install and use the OpenHab home automation software, and that was the program I was going to use to integrate my digital assistant into home automation. But after months and months of research, I decided to go to a Home Assistant. And there's just some small reasons why. First, when you go to Reddit, the Home Assistant subreddit has 203,000 members compared to OpenHab's 5,000 members. So there's going to be a lot more support for the Home Assistant. And then just throughout time, Home Assistant has gotten more support from other vendors, and it's easier to integrate. And the eventual goal is to use the Python programming language to merge it all together. So in today's video, we're going to be installing Home Assistant on a Raspberry Pi 4 utilizing an SSD device. And I know that's repetitive, the SSD and device, but SSD device. And the reason why we use the SSD is it's just quicker for it to read and write and do normal processes, especially when we have a lot going on. Welcome to the first video in my Home Assistant playlist on my channel, where I'm using the Python programming language to build my own digital assistant named Shane, like Iron Man from the movies and comics. Please consider subscribing to my channel, like this video, and comment if you use Home Assistant and Python together somehow. So before we get started, let's go over a list of materials. And so you'll need one Raspberry Pi 4. I hope you already have one because there's not a lot in stock when you go to Amazon. You'll need a SD card. I don't know if this is still current, but usually a 32 gigabyte is still the main one that you're supposed to use. You'll need one SSD device and one SSD to USB 3.0 or SATA cable, and so you'll need that as well. So I have left a link in the description for the affiliate links for commonly used USB or the SD card, the SATA drive that I'm using, a Kingston one, and then the cable that I bought. So I'll leave affiliate links. It helps me out when you use those links to purchase the items if you're following along. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come here to Raspberry Pi OS because we'll need the imager. Okay, here we are in the Raspberry Pi imager. You go to raspberrypi.com/software and it'll take you to here. We're going to install this imager. You can watch the 45-second video if you want. You can download for Windows, for Mac OS, or Linux. It's up to you, but we're going to do Windows. So go ahead and click the download to Windows and it will start downloading the file. Mine was relatively quick, and then my computer does a quick virus scan and take a little bit. Then go ahead and open it, and then you will have the wizard pop up. Click install, and then it will install it. Run Raspberry Pi imager, click finish, and then it will open it up. So this is the imager right here, so you can go ahead and click choose OS, and then we're going to go down to miscellaneous utility images, and then we're going to go to bootloader, and then you're going to go USB boot. That way if the USB is not available, it will go straight to the SD card. So click that. Then we're going to choose storage, so we're going to find our SD card right there that we have plugged into our computer. And then we are going to write to it, and it says that all existing data on the card will be erased. Are you sure you want to continue? So just make sure that that's the device you want to overwrite, or else it'll overwrite everything. So it's going to quickly write to it, and then it's going to verify the image. All right. And now that that's done, you can remove the SD card. And now we're going to place it into our Raspberry Pi 4 now. Okay, now that we have that image downloaded, you can remove the SD card from your computer. Then we're going to take that SD card and plug it into the back of our Raspberry Pi 4. that is not powered on. Make sure it's not powered on yet. And then once it's snugly in there, you're going to go ahead and plug in your Raspberry Pi. And then once you plug it in, you should see some green and red lights flashing. And that is a good sign that the image is loading. Now we're not going to plug it into a computer or anything. What we're going to do is get our SSD device and plug that into our computer so we can download the SSD image. So go ahead and plug it into your SSB 3.0 port, and now let's move the image to our SSD. Alright, so we're back in our Raspberry Pi imager, and we are going to click USB boot just like before, then click back. Now we're going to do other specific purpose OS, so go ahead and click that one. And then we have a bunch of different options down here. If you look up, we are going to do the Home Assistant and Home Automation, and we're going to go ahead and click that one. And then down there you'll see Home Assistant. You'll also see OpenHAB. Then we're going to click the RPI4, the Home Assistant OS RPI4. Click that one. And then choose your storage, and it should find your SSD device. Make sure it's the one you want. So go ahead and click that. And then we're going to write over it just like before. And it's going to erase whatever you're telling it to. So make sure it's the right one and go ahead and click yes. And then it's going to write. And this is going to take a little bit longer. So I am going to go ahead and cut until we're closer to the 90% mark. Right, so now we're at 90%. Now it's verifying, and this is also going to take a little bit longer, so let me cut to that. Alright, it's done verifying. Now let's unplug our SSD and connect it to our Raspberry Pi 4. So now you can unplug your Raspberry Pi 4 and remove the SD card in the back. So go ahead and remove it. And then you can go ahead and set it aside because we won't need it now. And go ahead and remove the SSD from your computer and plug it into the blue, that's your USB 3.0. Alright, and now power it on. And you'll see the blinking lights again, which means it's running the image successfully. And go ahead and connect it to the internet or to your router. So connect it to the LAN connector into your router. And now we can go to our computer and start the Home Assistant program. Alright, so first you'll want to go to, on my computer, I have to go to http semicolon -- homeassistant.local 8123. The message says, I didn't get a chance to record it, but it says it could take up to 20 minutes. That was not for me. It only took 2 minutes. This onboarding.html will automatically happen on your first time. So let's go ahead and complete this together. So I'll put my name in there, username, password. Okay, so now we are here. The country is United States. Time zone, I am Central. It's not finding me. Central Time. Elevation, we can look that up together. Bossier City elevation. So let's just use 174 feet. We'll use US customary. Go ahead and change that. Currency is US dollar. Time zone. There we go. I'm going to share everything with Home Assistant to make it a better program. I'm okay with that. So it already found some devices, but I don't want to set those up now. I want to do that later. So finish. And there we go. We have successfully installed Home Assistant on a Raspberry Pi 4 utilizing an SSD. So I've already bought a camera, so in the next video, the first thing we'll be doing is installing an indoor camera. And I hope you subscribe to my channel and like this video, and so you can continue watching me use Home Assistant and building my own digital assistant. And thanks for watching. Goodbye, world.